but by the law. For I had not known lust except the law had said, thou shalt not covet. Minus that law, people live the way they want. People do what they want. I can remember where I was introduced to as a baby to be religion, to be doing the will of God. The law was that, you get baptized of what they call baptism that time, by some cross and some little water on the forehead, and a new name. My name was George, so I was given that name that time. Then at 12 years old, you go through some lessons. You are taught some things, and then hands are laid on you to confirm you truly religious. When you have been confirmed truly of that religion, then you continue living the way you want. You can go about with girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, and you still be, that time when you confirm, you are allowed not to partake of the Holy Communion. So you can continue, it doesn't matter. Not in secret, people just know that so and so admitted, so and so, that girl is a friend of so and so, that boy is a friend of so and so, but in church, no problem. But if you now say that now I marry you, we stay together, then you are told now you cannot partake of the Holy Communion. So that was law according to their standards. Keeping it how they decided it would be. To if they had said that no, you shall not have the boyfriend, shall not have the girlfriend, then it will be now sin at that level. But according to their law, the law was you shall not elope. So when you elope, you have sinned, but you don't forget you have not sinned. So that is how law determines that. That's what Paul says that without being told what I'm not supposed to do, I did not know when I was in error. So the law came to tell us what we were supposed to do, to know when we were in error. You go to Romans chapter 9. Romans chapter 9 and verse 31 says, wherefore, because they sought it not by faith, but as it were by the works of the law, for they stumble at the stumbling stone. As it is written, behold, I lay in Zion a stumbling stone and a rock of offense, and whosoever believeth on him shall not be ashamed. Blessed be the name of God. So, you can read from verse 30 if you want to find out what happened there. But Israel found it impossible to walk by the law. So it became before them like a stone whereupon when you reach you stumble. You reach it and you cannot move any further. You try this and you find you are failing that one. You try that one and you fail this. For example, some local communities have their own laws. Where I come from, nobody dies for nothing. Nobody dies out of sicknesses. Nobody. Nobody dies in accidents. Every time anything happens, they will look for where did they not keep the law. When you went to pay the dowry, who ate first? When you went to build the house, who put the last grass? Who dug the hole? When the mother died or the father died, where did the head look? And when they came, who entered first? And when they brought the corpse, where did people go? Always they find that all that was something that went wrong somewhere, and that's why you died. That's why you caught the disease. Whether it's a bullet that has hit you in a robbery, that's why the bullet hit you. So that's how they are. You will never find that there's one free from all that. If it's not about how you build, it's about how it's about how you entered the home. It's not about that. It's about how you saw your mother-in-law. Not about that. It's about how your father-in-law did this and that. So those things, they're just also the same way. They show you that you are not able. Blessed be the name of the Lord. So they never die of natural causes. They just die because of failing to give. So they believe. That is not really the truth, but that is how they believe. But I was using that to illustrate to you how the children of Israel were. That every time there was this to be kept and that to be kept, and so the Lord just taught them that they were too weak to keep it. Amen? That they were too unable to keep it. Now, Romans 3 verse 21, where we have read. Let's read again. Romans 3 and 21. Okay, I think we can read it now. But now, the righteousness of God. Righteousness is having the right standing with God. Is being justified before God. And being justified, those who speak English, they are proud of it, that it is only in that language that it comes out straight. Justified, that means just as if you never did. So when it is just as if it never happened. So when it's like it never happened, because God says that He will separate you from your sin as far as the east is from the west. So it is like it never happened. In fact, He forgives you and He forgets about that sin. He doesn't hold it on you. You can continue calling yourself a sinner, but He doesn't call you a sinner. He may call you righteousness of God. So now we see in verse 21 of Romans chapter 3 that now the righteousness of God without the law is manifest. Without the law. If we understand that portion without the law, then we are going to get our freedom from today's message. Without the law is manifest. Being witnessed by the law and the prophets. Do you see that? Without the law, but being witnessed by the law and the prophet. That means you are not told thou shalt not and thou shalt, because that was about the law. Thou shalt not and thou shalt. But now, those things that thou shalt not, they stand to witness that He has kept us. The prophets say He has walked according to all that we say. The law say He has walked according to all that we say. And yet we are living without the law. That means another power, another force is enabling you to live as per the requirement of the law. So the law now witnesses that you are living by it. We don't know. You have written. Lift up your hand. From the first to the last, the 10 commandments only. People don't even the other statutes. Just 10 commandments. And you're saved. Amen. And you're saved and you're in church. There are places where knowing the 10 commandments is a must. You must recite them. But you follow again the same people and you'll find that they are very far from it. They just pick one, they just pick two, and they just create everything of their doctrine around that. But you are telling me that you don't know them offhand. Okay, it's part of the Bible, so you should try and know them. But at the same time, you are living, keeping the law without knowing what is there. So Paul is saying here now, or the word of God is saying now, without the law. And without being told, don't do this, yet something inside you enables you not to do that. Sure. Amen. You don't know which law you have kept. But yet the law says, he has kept me. You don't know what the prophet spoke, but the prophet that is reading in the prophet, you find that you are living by it. So now the law and the prophet now have just become witnesses that you are living according to the letter of Jesus said. Blessed be the name of the Lord. You are living, you are keeping as unto the letter. You are keeping even the comma and the full stop without knowing it. Because you have submitted yourself to something else more than the law. Blessed be the Lord. We look at Romans chapter 6. Romans 6 and verse 14. For sin shall not have dominion over you, for you are not under the law, but under the grace. That is the one now. Sin shall not have dominion over you. Now, it doesn't mean that sin, we can sin and it shall have no effect. No. When the sin comes, the grace that you live by shall tell that sin you cannot have part in me, and shall tell you to say no to unrighteousness. Blessed be the Lord. That you are not under it. You can have the law, but you are under sin, so that you find you cannot keep it. Paul says, I know what to do, but how to do it, I don't find. Amen. I know what to do, but how to do it, I don't find. That is when the law, when sin is in control. When sin has taken charge, you can know what to do, but how to do it, you don't find. He says in Romans chapter 7 verse 17, now then, it is no more I that does it, but sin that dwells in me. So if you are not under sin, the sin will not make you sin. You are not called a sinner because of what you do.